Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I am talking about plateauing on your healing journey. I've been getting a lot of questions from followers about why they see improvement in the beginning, but then they just can't seem to clear up that last bit of psoriasis or eczema, or just can't quite get rid of the fatigue, etc. So I'm here to just kind of explain why that plateau is happening. Before we start, if you have experienced a plateau in your health, leave it in the comments below, let me know, just so I can see how common this actually is for a lot of you. But essentially, there is no such thing as your body just stops improving and it just won't heal anymore. There's no such thing as that. And if you're not getting any more progress, there is a reason. So I'm going to quickly explain what some of those reasons are. So usually people who make a positive health change, whether it's with diet or, switching over to non-toxic beauty products or that kind of stuff, you're going to notice an improvement in your symptoms because what was once toxic that you were introducing to your body is now gone, and your body just has a little bit less inflammation and toxic load it has to worry about, or you're eating a cleaner diet so your body's getting more nutrients than it used to. So usually people notice a big surge in improvement in the beginning, but then it starts to plateau, as we call it, and they just feel like nothing they do is working anymore. So a few things you can do after you've kind of hit that point where you seem like you're not improving is, number one, start with diet. So usually people will start by eliminating gluten, dairy, sugar. Those are the main ones when they start to try to, heal either their autoimmune issues or their health issues in general. And that's a good place to start. But what a lot of people don't realize is those are not the only trigger foods. You can be technically sensitive to any foods that you're consuming. So take it a step further and really look where you can fine tune your diet even further. What's kind of happening is, like I mentioned in the beginning, you get rid of a bunch of trigger foods, your immune system gets to relax a little bit, inflammation goes down, your body starts to heal. But you are still probably eating certain foods that you're sensitive to, and it's still causing some inflammation. So at some point, your immune system and your body are not going to fully 100% heal if there's chronic inflammation from something you're eating. So you do have to further fine tune your diet, really get down to the nitty gritty and find out what your triggers are. There are usually added sweeteners, sugary fruit, fermented food, peanuts, yeast, anything moldy. So you really have to look and see, and also the foods you eat most frequently are usually the ones you're going to be sensitive to. So try to rotate your diet even more, eliminate certain foods for a period of time, and really just focus on diet. There's always room for improvement. Sometimes people say that they only have, gluten once a week or even once a month, or they only have pizza, once a month, so they don't understand why they're not healing. And it's not so much that, pizza's terrible in itself. I mean, it is pretty bad, but what the problem is when you have chronic inflammation, even just having something once a month is too much when your body's just so oversensitive. So you need to completely eliminate these certain foods at some point for a long time. I would say usually a year. Really eliminate all the trigger foods, and then after that, introduce things slowly. So if you eat a food you're sensitive to, like gluten, even if it's only once a month, it takes 6 weeks for that inflammation to calm down. So if you have it once a month, as the inflammation starts to come down, you have it again and your inflammation will increase. So usually just avoid foods for a certain period of time. In the beginning stages, if you're used to eating junk food and stuff and you slowly start to switch into, I guess, like a healthier diet, having gluten once a month or certain foods that you loved once a month is fine, because if you cut it out altogether when you're used to eating it so frequently, you're usually will binge or just decide to not follow the health diet anymore. So in the beginning it's fine, but at some point, especially when you hit that plateau, you do need to further fine tune and further eliminate and really get strict, and you'll notice the drastic improvements once you find your triggers. So like I said, there's always room for fine tuning, whether it's eating more vegetables, maybe you're not eating enough veggies and you're too acidic, adding more fiber to the diet, some more healthy fats, really finding out where your meat is from, and if you're not doing grass-fed, try switching to grass-fed. Because even like the antibiotic or hormone-free meat is still not organic, so they're still fed grains with glyphosate and all that kind of stuff, which is coming to you. So maybe switch to even cleaner meat and that kind of stuff. Really fine tune. There's, like I said, there's always room for improvement, and that's the first place to start. If your diet is completely perfect and there's absolutely no room for improvement, then you can look at other issues. So the second thing would be external or environmental, I guess, stressors that are going to harm your immune system and cause inflammation. So things like glyphosate in your drinking water, maybe consider purchasing like a Berkey water filter or something like that. The other thing would be even secondhand smoke. Maybe someone in your home or at your workplace smoke and you're always breathing that in. That would be something to think about, because those are all external toxins that are still entering your body, and your body has to handle that. And if you're really sensitive, it's hard to get full healing when you still have these little triggers that are constantly causing inflammation. It could be that you're smoking marijuana just a couple times a month even, and you think it's not completely harmful, but it could be enough for you personally to push you into that inflammatory state and prevent you from full healing. So maybe stop doing that, at least for, you know, a little while. It could be that you only drink alcohol, even if it's just a couple times a month, like a glass of wine here and there. It could still be a trigger for you if you have histamine intolerance, or if you have mold in your body, because yeast or wine can definitely further feed that and cause some issues there. So like I said, look at your environment. Maybe you need to really watch your makeup products. Again, even if you're only wearing makeup once a week, those could be enough for you personally to have a reaction if they're not clean makeup products or not clean detergents and soaps and shampoos. So like I said, there's always room for improvement, and definitely your external environment can be improved as well. Even if you have mold in your home, consider drying that out or improving that. So look to your environment if your diet's perfect, and usually it's little things that you start to eliminate. It means less toxins for your body and quicker healing. And then the last thing that you can look at is you just need more drainage and more detoxification. So a lot of people typically start with like liver cleansing or candida cleansing, and that's usually the good place to start. Start with like the most important. But at some point you want to drain and flush your other, they're called emunctories or elimination pathways. So kidneys are huge, lungs are major for a lot of people, especially if you ever smoked, if you were have a lot of like congestion, mucus, if you lived in a moldy home. You really want to do some lung drainage. You want to drain the skin, you want to drain the lymphatic system. So don't just stop after the liver and candida cleanse and think you're done and not understand why you're not improving. Look to your other elimination pathways, other ways you can get toxins out, and do that. So whether it's with baths, with hot Epsom salt baths, or homeopathics, massage, chiropractors, whatever you think is going to work for you, you can look at that type of treatment or modality and use that to get more improvements in terms of detoxification. A lot of people have heavy metal, actually back up a minute. A lot of people have mercury amalgam fillings, which they do everything else right, but don't get those removed. And that could be that constant trigger or exposure to mercury, which is a heavy metal, and it's really hard to fully heal if your body's constantly exposed to that. So that would be something to consider. Make sure you go to a really good dentist to get them removed, because they will leach, and usually people get a worsening of symptoms after getting them removed. But look to that. But yeah, usually there is still heavy metal or mold toxicity underlying your main conditions or symptoms, and it's hard to fully heal again if you still have that. So further detoxification is so important. Do a heavy metal cleanse, or you can even go to a doctor and get like chelation therapy, do some more mold cleansing. So really look towards detoxification. Once you further and truly and deeply detox, your symptoms will lift. The only reason why you have your health conditions and issues is because of inflammation from toxins or something that's aggravating your body. And once that source is removed, your body can calm down, your symptoms can go away, your body can start to rebalance. So those are the three areas I like to look at: diet, your environment, the things you're putting on your body, and then deeper drainage and cleansing other areas of your body. I do one-on-one consultations, and I like to use homeopathics for my clients in terms of the lungs, the kidneys, the liver, the colon drainage, the lymphatic drainage. They're the most effective, and you get really good results. So I'd be happy to work with you. If you would like, you can just, my contact info and my website is in the description box below, so you can check that out. But that's all I have for this video. If you are hitting a plateau, really look where you can fine tune. Everyone will get good improvement and a surge of of energy and stuff when you kind of make the major switches to cleaner food, you know, and that kind of stuff. But at some point you really have to get nitpicky in terms of your lifestyle just to further push you into healing. And again, none of these are going to be forever. It's just until your body rebalances, and at that point it can handle a little bit of toxins here and there. So you won't have to completely eliminate all these foods and all these things that you love forever. It's just until you're healed. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch it. I love you all, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.